Virtual vibe sanity is what we're hoping for.
Hello, VR fans. How the devil are you? You've made it to the penultimate episode of Brain Man Virtual Reality Reviews, episode 51. I am the Brain Man. Nice to see you again. Reviewing every week some kind of VR experience or game. And so this one is perhaps, is it a game? Is it an experience? I guess it's an experience. It's continuing the theme from last week. We had a look at VR chat. There's another game, app experience called altSPACE. Alternate spaces for an alternate reality, I suppose. So people can put on their headset and select from a number of different live events. That, to me, is what kind of distinguishes altSPACE from things like VR chat, because it's not just turning up and spontaneously finding some people to hang out with and have fun with. There's often some events happening, a theme. For example, they offer meditations and so on. And it's quite interesting to just have a look. It's a bit hit and miss. You don't always know what you're going to get. And sometimes the events that you see on the event list look like they're going to be great. Sometimes, as you're going to find out shortly, you don't get exactly what you're expecting. So let us go from reality to virtual reality, where there's an event at midnight, British summertime, in altSPACE that I wanted to take you to. I thought we could have some fun there. We might laugh, we might cry, we might learn a thing or two about the world. Right. It's quite nice that that bird flies straight over. Bit of a strange flickery wing pattern, but yeah, I think that's a cormorant. That's not a seagull. I think the cormorants are the ones that dive for eels. I think in one episode I showed you them fishing in the distance. I wonder what episode that was. Maybe I'll find out. Right. Now, where is altSPACE? I think that's altSPACE. Right. Yeah, so I had a little look. You can look at the altSPACE, alternate spaces in VR. And yeah, there was an interesting looking bunch of events. Earlier on there was meditation where you soar over planet Earth. There was one that I think was on an hour ago, which was for people who've, like, support group for people who've committed suicide. Or so not for people who have committed suicide, for people who've attempted it. Obviously they didn't complete it or they wouldn't be in VR. Or for people who are partners or family members of someone who's made an attempt on their life, like a... Yeah, I was going to go along like out of academic interest, but then I thought, maybe that's not appropriate. Maybe I shouldn't pry. So instead, the thing that I'm going to take you to now is some kind of comedy thing. Roundtable discussion. We could go to, there it is. Oh, we could go in there. Suicide Survivors Support Group. This is the one I was talking about. I'm not quite sure if it's appropriate for an outside, because they might be like opening up, and maybe it's not right if I'm doing a program. Holograms against reality. Ooh, that sounds really interesting. You forward, backwards, left, right, but you push it, not stroke it. The touchpad on the left, and then the right hand, you can teleport, which I think breaks immersion. So, what's going on here?
Shut the fuck up.
Oh,
That's the car say, dumbass.
I don't know what you're saying.
with me. I'm listening.
Listen, bitch, this is the car say. It says, do not fuck with me. I am literally right now.
Roundtable discussion sounds better than kids just talking absolute nonsense. That does happen a lot in VR. Soon there'll be little clubs, places, and it won't be like this. There'll be adults there. It'll be amazing.
I'm gonna make you host, okay, Jojo? Because I'm gonna be gone for like 30 minutes to an hour, but I will be back. So just keep it entertaining here. Bring up some discussions. Make sure that everybody in the crowd has a the freedom to come up here, you know, not whenever they want, but whenever you call on them, make sure they have the freedom to give their opinion on the situation. But I'm gonna have to go. Lunix, #1! Woohoo!
May I help?
Anyways,
All
I'm gonna
right.
have to go play Echo, so bye bye.
Bye
This is going to be
bye.
chaos.
It's my mic.
So, real quick,
Get your own.
I just.
Get your own.
Give me my.
Jojo, can I help you?
Hold on.
My first time.
I don't cook. I don't
All right,
clean.
all right. I'll talk to
On
you
my
later.
spleen.
You gotta go,
Hello.
man. All right, y'all better still be here when I get back.
Can I help you?
I will, Lunix. Woohoo!
Yeah.
You know, Lunix is actually my beatboxer name. For those of you who don't know,
Have you
it's my
added
beatboxer name. I'm definitely a beginner. I just started.
SoundCloud?
But if you know who Athena is, she's training me because she thinks I have potential.
Just like
So
this.
like, hold on. I'm about to drop that. What are you doing? Shut up. You're ruining my spotlight, bitch. Chase. Oh fuck, that was awful.
It's very good. It's very good. Well done. This is the. Not much discussion. Not much discussion.
All right, I'm done. That's all I'm giving you. Drop the mic.
Yeah, it's a funny old world out there. If altSPACE was populated by adults, it would be absolutely brilliant. But it's just full of kids. It's exactly what happened to Rec Room. Kids didn't have access to it a year and a half ago, and then they just came like unwashed hordes and spoil all the adults' fun, and all the adults run away. One guy once told me that you can narrow down which server you're on to make it likely that the kids are asleep, and that it'll be adults probably that you'll be hanging out with. I don't know. It's basically because it's American kids that cause all the problems. They're the only ones. They just cause chaos, and you can't do anything, like anything. They're just doing weird kid chaos. Cyber brings out the worst in them, really, truly. Yeah, so this is like your home. A place you can come to get away from it all. You know, there's direct comparisons to the HTC Vive home, you know, although that's in a mountaintop scape, this is a cityscape, it's still, both are kind of a calming place to be for a city boy like me. Like, and it's funky, like it's beautifully designed, you can shoot some hoops, let off some fireworks, you know, simple, like, simple. Oh yeah, you grab the grip button. And then when you release, like it's really, really satisfying. So simple. So satisfying. Like it's a brilliant idea. No need to faff around with giving people the possibility of, you know, lighting and get a lighter out and light it. You don't need to. This is the bit that's exciting about it, the firing off. You know, not getting in trouble for hitting a house accidentally. Great. Okay, let's try and find something with adults in it. What would sound boring to children? I thought the open mic might be interesting. That's in 45 minutes. That was a question a Christian, the true name of Jesus. That could be interesting. Trump Friday, New Hampshire. What the fuck? What the hell is that? this be... I don't understand why there's no one over here. Okay. I get it. Interesting. Not. Info zone. Campfire. Let's see who's at the campfire. The events haven't been terribly good. Organized by children. Maybe adults should be organizing. I know, but then they'd just be disrupted by kids. They really need to segregate. We really need segregation between the kiddies and the adults. Maybe it's just a different game, app, interface that I haven't heard of, but altSPACE and VR chat really aren't doing it for me.
Big screen?
Oh.
Have you tried big screen? Big screen
No,
is
what
pretty
is that?
cool. It's like going to a movie theater, and you can go and watch different movies with different people. And actually,
Is that in altSPACE?
No. It's a different app that you can download. It's a free app, and
What's your name, buddy?
it's like going to a movie theater where you can go to different movies, and
I'm the Brain
people
Man.
have their own rooms, and they show their
Yeah,
computer.
just, chilling, hanging out, checking out altSPACE. I haven't really been here many times before. I feel like a lot of it's absolutely covered in children, but I finally found a place with adults. I'm very excited.
We were trying
Right.
to watch something.
Yeah, and there's no way to tell until
I
you
guess
talk
the
to them.
YouTube screen.
Yeah.
I mean, it's not
A
like
while
their age just
back.
popped up on top of
yeah.
like wear it on their shirt
We
or
really
something.
Yeah. And the
Yeah.
avatars
And
all
whatever
look sort of
in
around about the same kind of
in
age, don't they?
altSPACE.
Apart from this chap.
Oh yeah.
But I need to try that.
He
And
actually,
right.
actually looks like a very effective lesbian in drag.
I'm
just
50
getting
No,
kind of
lesbian
and that
dressed as a man. It's quite.
a lot of fun.
It kind of
I
works.
can have fun at home.
You know what?
At 57,
Brain Man is a good name
Yeah.
for you because you just read my mind. I was thinking that
I'm
exact
63.
same thing.
But
I've been
Yeah,
it's
I'm only a
amazing.
little-
That's uncanny. So did you see this SSSG thing over here? This is quite interesting. There's an event tonight for people who have either tried to commit suicide themselves in the past or people who are like partners with them. And it's like a help group in altSPACE. I thought that was really cool.
Oh wow, they got something for everyone.
Yeah, it's quite a heavy thing, right? And I thought I'd pop in just to see what's going on, but then I sort of didn't want to intrude in other people's private business.
Headset.
They have an event
does.
for suicide
You saw them with
failures.
the hair.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. Like a support group, a place where you can get together and get information, I suppose. I didn't go in there. But I just think it's nice that such a thing exists in VR. I think that's
Oh,
cool.
that is so cool.
Sorry, I'm babbling away. Sorry to interrupt.
Brain
No,
Man.
no. You're good.
So where in the world are you guys?
I am in Alabama.
Hey, cool. I've got relatives in Alabama. And what about you?
I'm in Wisconsin.
Cool. I'm in London. And where are you, Green Man?
Wah wah, Kansas.
What's the matter with Kansas? click, and off we
We
go.
got cows and corn and that's about all. I mean, if you like beef and wheat,
Have you ever heard the joke that we're not in Kansas anymore?
they actually
No, I haven't. Is it
No,
something,
right up the
is
road.
it something to do with the
they have a
Yellow Brick
Wizard of
Road?
Oz museum that's
No,
pretty neat.
Do they?
Toto, we're not in Kansas
They
anymore.
do.
I
Pretty
love that. Oh, it was such a magical thing when you're a kid watching that. It's up there with all the top fantasy, like the Never-Ending Story. It's like it's up there, man.
Yes. Oh, I love that movie.
Never-Ending Story.
It's one of my
I like Dragon.
Dungeons and Dragons.
3 favorite films as a child: Never-Ending Story, Goonies, and Labyrinth
Goonies
with David Bowie.
and Police Academy. I know. What was the third one? Have you ever Labyrinth? Brilliant. Have you ever rewatched Police Academy? It's unbelievably racist and sexist. You should try it again in 2020. It's really like it makes you feel awkward watching it because you're like, we used to get away with what?
Yeah,
Yeah.
I want to watch Airplane again.
Oh, that one.
Yeah.
That
I
one
know,
could stand the
there's-
test of time.
Yeah, there's a lot of memes with Airplane.
Okay.
But,
Okay.
so London. Yeah, here in VR we get a lot of Brits,
Do you?
which is pretty cool. Yeah, I enjoy their sense of humor.
That's very interesting. Well, that's good to know. I like my favourite Brits are the Northerners, Northern English people. They're really funny.
Oh,
Generally speaking, they have a very what is it? Dry sense of humour. I think it's great.
yeah, you have so many different accents.
Yeah.
It's really hard to
Understand sometimes, right?
well, not understand, but to place them where they come from in
Right.
the country.
So many
Whereas
tribes.
here in the U.S.,
Yeah.
yeah, you can
can
tell
tell.
the difference between somebody from the South and somebody from
Right.
the North. Like
Right.
I've been accused of having a Canadian accent. I'm
Oh,
from
really?
far north. Yeah.
Wow.
Some strange slang too. You know, like, what the hell? What's a plonker?
A plonker is if you're like you're trying to teach a kid wants to know a swear word and you're like, what's the, but mummy, daddy, teach me the worst word, a really rude, bad word, and you tell him, oh, he's a bit of a plonker. Like it's the most vanilla insult imaginable. It's one you teach children.
Okay, I have to remember that.
Yeah, you get to learn a lot of foreign slang too, like
Do you?
bullocks.
Bollocks. Bollocks to that, sunshine. Bollocks are testes. But it's not used specifically to refer to the testes. It's moved, it's like in frustration. If you drop something on your foot, you'd be like, ah, bollocks. It's like, it's not, you couldn't offend someone by saying bollocks
Right.
near them, really.
Right.
I always thought it meant your rear end because it sounds so much like buttocks.
No,
Bollocks.
bollocks. But, yeah, you see, you have fanny packs, and that's just weird to us because our fanny isn't at the back, it's at the front of a lady, and it's just a bit odd. Fanny pack this, fanny pack that. It's like, stop it. It's like someone going, vagina, vagina, vagina.
Yeah, I'm just really lucky that in high school I took British English.
Oh, did you?
So I know the difference between trunk and boot.
Wow. They offered a special module in British English?
No, I'm just kidding.
Oh, right. You picked it up along the way.
I also, as a third language, I know Australian English.
Oh, mate, you are trilingual. You are fully trilingual.
There's another Brit right there, Tall UK. He just spawned.
Hey, UK.
What up, Tall
Oh, yeah.
UK?
Tall UK.
Is this
I always wanted to visit London.
Sideways Walker? Are you a crab? Yeah, you should come and visit, man. It's great. I live very close to that bridge that opens like this. So I get to meet loads of tourists from all over the world. It's great.
Oh.
Go hang out
Do you
at
look-
a pub.
I hang out at the pub all the time. Oh, no, I don't hang out. I hang out in the pub with my friends. But I go down. There's a little beach that appears right by that bridge at low tide. And it only appears for like 3 hours a day. And the rest of the time, it's just water right up to the river wall. And yeah, so I go down there and I do a little bit of filming. And I say, hey, everyone, welcome to the show. We're going to review a VR game. And then I clap my hands and I go from real life into the virtual reality version of Tower Bridge. And then I start the review. And that's what I'm doing right now. You're on my second last review. Thanks for being here. So it's like a YouTube channel, and I've been doing it as a hobby for a year, and I'm going to knock it on the head. You know, I've been doing every week for a year a VR review.
Quite the exotic guests here from Alabama, Kansas, and Wisconsin.
It's great. You are clearly experienced altSPACE users. You're very comfortable here. You're just hanging out, right?
Yeah, I'm only a couple miles away from a couple of cows.
I was in the countryside the other day. No, but it's great to meet you. Like, it's really lovely to connect so closely with people on the opposite side of the ocean. Like, it's amazing.
Most Americans really like the Brits too. We enjoy your sense of humor.
Oh, well, that's good to know. Thank you for making me feel welcome. Thanks for all of the movies and amazing box sets. We know all about American culture because we watch all the movies. Say again? Say again?
What did you say? Amazing what? Movies and what else?
Box sets, like series, HBO series.
Oh, I thought you said boxers. I was going to say
No,
the
no, no.
heavyweight champ is from Britain. What are you
Right.
talking about? I was going to say, we're going to go to a pub, you and me, and if we run into Tyson Fury, I'm going to start a fight with him.
I have
And if he starts to get the best of me, you got my back, right?
That's right, brother. I got your back.
Who cares if he's 7 feet tall and 250 pounds of pure muscle?
That's no problem. That's no problem at all. A friend of mine has done a strange thing. At the age of 42, he decided to move to Uganda, and he lives on the outskirts of Kampala. And he goes to a boxing gym every day on the edge of the slum. And he loves it out there. He's been there for 6 months, and he's been boxing with Olympic champions. And he paints all the boxers, and he did an image of Tyson Fury. That's the relevance to what we're talking about. And then someone picked it up and said, I love your painting. Can I use it in a TV program about Tyson Fury? So even though he's in the middle of nowhere in Africa, like, he got picked up in social media. It's kind of cool.
It is cool.
It is.
Imagine
It's
going to Africa and
amazing.
painting boxers. Like, what are you doing? You're an accountant. But he just upped and left.
Wow. There's songs about things like that, right?
Yeah, right.
Yeah, I'm 20 years younger. This is one of the advantages of being in VR is you can.
What just happened? Dude, you just morphed into a younger man.
I'm 20 years younger. You can do that. You can be as thin as you want.
Wow.
And as young as you want.
Hi. Hey, Red. What's a guanin?
Huh?
I said, hi, Red. What is a guanin? Sorry, that's really London slang. I don't know what I'm talking about. How are you?
I am good. How are you?
Pretty smashing. I'm hanging out with people from Kansas and Wisconsin, and I forgot the third one, but from all over, length and breadth of the US of A, and I'm having a time of my life.
Sure. Forget Kansas.
Oh, sorry.
That's okay.
How could I forget Kansas? Beef and weed, baby. Beef and weed. I like your style, brother. Beef and weed.
Yeah, we are ordered by Colorado. It is legal
nice.
here.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
I once drove through Vermont, which I know isn't that close to where you're talking about, but it was lovely to be in the mountains, icy mountains.
Excellent ice cream too. Ben and Jerry's.
Yeah. Oh, we have a druid. Keith Lemon, the druid, has joined us. Hello. Do you have some magic or hallucinations to bring us?
Magic drumstick or wand, whichever.
Cool, Cody.
He's throwing it at people. Uh-oh, he's winding up. We better watch out.
One of my favorite movies was actually based in the UK, An American Werewolf in London.
Oh, really?
Boy, that werewolf really tore you guys up. You just
that was pretty. It was pretty brutal, wasn't it? Yeah, but in its time, it was up there with Freddy Krueger. Freddy Krueger.
I'm a big Monty Python and Doctor Who fan.
Oh, I reviewed the Doctor Who VR experience 2 episodes ago. Doctor Who VR is actually quite good. I'd recommend it. Give it a go. The BBC did a good job.
I'm going to have to look into it.
Yeah, do. It's free. It's great. It's really good.
I love Little Britain.
Little
That's one of my
Britain.
favorites.
Yeah.
They're pretty awesome.
I went to a gym in central London near St Paul's for a year. My gym was on a road called Little Britain. If you look up on the map of London, there is a road called Little Britain. And it always made me chuckle. Every time I went to the gym and I saw the road sign, made me laugh.
How's everybody handling the COVID-19 in London? Are all the pubs shut down?
It's all good. It's all pretty gravy. Like, we shut down hard March, April, May, June, and then we sort of slightly emerged July, and then a little bit more August. But I live right close to central London, as I've said, and it's still like a ghost town compared to normal business, which is what you need to do. Like, let the thing fizzle out, keep people not having so much contact with other people for about a year, and then we'll see where we are. That's how I see it. But I'm a scientist, so I'm kind of I'm cheating a
Go
little
with the
bit.
flow.
I feel more
You're a
comfortable.
scientist? What science?
I'm a neuroscientist. I'm more comfortable with the uncertainty because I've read all the science papers, and so I feel like I get it. I know what we're dealing with, and so this is just this is SARS-2. SARS-1 happened 7 years ago, but it stayed in Asia. This is just SARS-2. It's not like I'm precedented. No, it's another version of what happened before. It's like chill out. Like we just have to wait to see.
HCQ for everybody.
HCQ for everybody. Yeah, there's loads of stuff. I've seen in Australia, a senior medical doctor came out saying that an existing combination of drugs that's used for, what's it called, parasitic infections works brilliantly on COVID, and they've had like almost 100% record of using this combination of 3 drugs. It's like zinc and something and something. But like, when... I think there are going to be
hydroxychloroquine.
Various. No, it wasn't that one. There's loads of different ones. There's one coming out of Oxford University. That's not hydroxychloroquine. There's 4 or 5 different possibilities that are imminent.
That's cool.
Yeah. It's not the end of the world, man. It's all we have. When we look back on this period in history, we'll be like, yeah, we got scared by a particularly infectious disease, and we all had to space out a bit. And I know a lot of people are struggling and suffering, but that is basically all we have to do as humans, spread out more than we ever did before, and we'll be cool. If we stay jammed into massive... It'll be great because instead of all of the knowledge and profit being centralized in a city, we have to spread out, and so it means that other districts that have been ignored for a little bit, they'll get an influx of bright minds from the city going back into the countryside. I project across the next year or two, it'll be very different, but we can get to a better place. Man, commuting in and out of cities for an hour there, hour back every day, that's insanity. That's such a modern invention. There's no need. We got VR, baby.
Everybody's going to get a VR headset.
Yeah. I feel like I'm in the room with you. I feel like really you're in my house with me, and that's the amazing thing about VR. And when you can gesticulate better with your hands, like do individual fingers, and it'll just
that thing at me.
It'll be second nature. It'll be great.
Yeah. I've had so many great times here in VR.
And did it help you in? Sorry, I haven't asked you back. How's COVID and lockdown shit been for you? Has it been okay? Has it been heavy?
Oh, it's been fine.
Yeah.
I'm not really worried about it or anything.
Okay,
but I am of the age where I'm 63,
right.
and
Yeah, and I've had it.
And I'm not really afraid of it.
Yeah.
Because I'm in excellent health, and I take care of myself. And I take D3, vitamin C, et cetera, et cetera. So I'm not really
Blacks,
afraid of it.
can I interrupt and ask you something? Can I ask you something?
That's very kind of you to do so.
Look, first of all, Blacks, you don't even look 63. I'll give you
Yeah,
that.
you don't look it at all. You look great for your age.
I looked 63 about 10 minutes ago, but I decided to just...
but I agree, I understand. But let me ask you something. Wouldn't you feel a lot more comfortable if everyone in here were wearing a mask? You know what I mean? Come on.
No.
Okay.
You have been drinking from the fountain of youth.
Yeah, I actually was a student of Dr. Paul Eichmann, who's an expert on facial expressions, micro.
You're a student of Ekman. Ekman's.
You've heard it?
Yeah, of course.
Ekman, huh?
I've lectured on his stuff all the time. Yeah.
Oh, cool. So you know all about micro and facial expressions.
Yeah,
That's one of the things that I really miss.
the facial feedback hypothesis was invented decades ago, but it really was prescient. It predicted all of this stuff in interoceptive awareness, like your sensory awareness of the inside of your body. It predicted it by that process of having to mimic in your face a facial expression in order to generate that emotion a little bit. Like, it's key to empathy. It's such a fundamental thing that he pointed out.
You're the first person I ever met here in VR that knew anything about Dr. Ekman.
Oh, mate, he's a legend.
All you genius people.
Oh,
you
yes,
never know who you're going to meet in here. I feel like such a dummy, but I'm not trying to brag. But I was a student of a doctor myself, Dr. Seuss. You ever hear of him? Oh my God, it's unbelievable.
Yeah, mate.
I'm going to check it out.
Spectacles. Mate.
I attended
That's
several
brilliant.
lectures.
That's brilliant.
Dude, you're cool. You know what I mean?
I know exactly what you mean. Do you know why he looks so young? Do you know what his secret is? Every night he smothers himself in extra virgin olive oil from an island in Greece, one island only, and this is the result: 62.
But I hope it wasn't Jeffrey Epstein's island, buddy. That's all.
You can't do that with it. Well, you can do that.
I think he swam over to it, and then the security guards freaked him out, and he went back. He went back to Lesbos. He was in Lesbos, paying homage. He's actually a lesbian.
So.
Oh. He took off.
And,
they kind Dude, I'm in the go. I'm underprivileged. I'm in the go.
Although,
no, man, it's equality. It's equality. It's all equality here.
I don't think it makes that much difference anyway.
Although, do you know what? It is an equality. I'm glad you brought that up. The people who benefit the most from VR are the ones that don't have access to it because of financial constraints. But if you could put a VR headset into the hands of all of the lowest 10% earning, it would really boost them. Much more than a high flyer trying to get a bit more performance out of their brain. The benefit is huge if you help people who need the help the most. It's unbelievable, the stats. Anyway, sorry. Thanks for bringing it up.
Buddy, let me ask you something. And I can tell your accent. I can tell. I love it. You're from the Bronx, right? From the Bronx. Let me tell you something, right? Here's the thing.
West Bronx. No, West Bronx. Come on, man.
You're right about that. But let me ask you something.
Upper East. Sorry.
This new Oculus Quest 2, okay? What they're going to do now, this is no joke, buddy. You can look it up. They're going to make you hook up with Facebook, put your real name in there, your real facial ID, and all this.
Oh, no.
A lot of people, oh, my God. So I might be saying goodbye to VR, buddy. It was good while I lasted.
No, come HTC. Come to HTC Vive. That's the Google way.
I might. But then you got to be really rich to get an index and a big fancy computer.
No, rubbish. No, you just, well, you're right, you do. Well, I don't know. I bought mine ages ago, but it's got cheaper.
Pretty cool app. Just hang out.
No, but then you're not going to have access to Verizon.
Yeah.
Verizon is going to
be
the centerpiece of them, and you got to sign in with your facial ID.
I have the better version of Verizon, and it's not that great.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah, but you know what? You're not going to be able to use the Quest without it. It's not much speculation. They're saying it.
No, you're right. If you want in, you have to give all your Facebook identity, access to everything. If you want to be in the club.
That means hackers, malicious people come after you. You know what I mean?
Cambridge Analytica sell information to change people's voting habits.
That's the least of it. That's the least
of it.
That's
if you don't
like
on
a
crack.
guy and he hacks you, if you hit on a guy's girlfriend or something, they'll find you, they'll hunt you down and kill you. You know what I mean?
I know what you mean. Yeah. Mate, that's heavy. Thanks for putting me onto that. I hadn't heard. I didn't know. That's really interesting.
It's horrifying, dude. It's awful.
Yeah.
Because they're not going to call it Oculus. There's no more Oculus.
It'll be Facebook because they already renamed the lab, didn't they? So it would be Facebook VR, AR, whatever labs.
And I don't know if I told you what he was saying about
but like this,
I mean to bring it down.
No, because but there's solutions to these things. So like WhatsApp is owned by Facebook. If you use the amazing tool that WhatsApp is, you're signing up to whatever data you use could be being monitored. But there's things like Signal app. Like Signal is an app that does all the things WhatsApp do, but actually give you.
It wants your phone number. It wants your phone number, dude.
It wants your phone number. That's okay. That's okay, isn't it?
That's the worst thing. SS7 is the worst hack ever, dude. Come on now.
SS7? I've never heard of it.
That's what phone systems run on.
SS7.
Closed network.
Oh, I'll look into that.
You know what I'm saying?
No.
Okay, Google knows what I'm talking about.
I know. I know what he was talking about. Signal. Signal is a secure messaging system that the government uses. And if two people have the same Signal app, it's more secure than using a regular SMS.
Yes, this is what I've heard. But he disagrees because they want our phone numbers, and he says that's bad because of SS7 attacks.
They want your phone number. Let me tell you something, buddy. SS7, secure Signal 7. Okay, it's what.
What are these people doing on the roof?
Oh yeah, I can give me a pat.
Oh, that's really tender.
Who said that? Is that you?
It was me. I'm over here on the roof. It was just a lovely moment to intrude upon. It was very sweet. There you go. I'll give you. I do this to my girlfriend actually. I do it to my girlfriend all the time. When she's done good, she's a violinist. When she's done a good gig, I actually pat her on the head in real life, and she loves it. She loves it. Oh my God. So simple, so tender. Would you like a pat? Or are you merging? Oh no, he's jumped off. Yeah, that's what people do. They just hurl themselves off of buildings in this place. I'll never get used to it. So what's going on? Pick. Cool. So I don't know how this game works. I'm sorry. I'm just gonna. Oh, there's people on the tree.
I can't point. This is the best I can do. That's what happened right there. You just got sneak attack.
Got a couple good ones. I mean, Saber and Dreadfall, but yeah, I don't
So many conversations. It's like, when you've heard a little bit of each of the conversations, it's actually quite trippy. That you can hear all of them simultaneously, like little fragments of all of your last, because they're still going on forever. Anyway, I've had a cracking time again. I've always had a bad time in altSPACE, and this time, finally, like 10th, 12th time I tried it, it was good. So let's fast forward. Let's go from virtual reality to reality. So, altSPACE. It's quite interesting how you kind of think, you see the sort of cool looking illustration and then the title of the event that's happening, and you think this is going to be great. I went a couple of weeks ago to try and check out a improv comedy thing. It was an absolute waste of time, complete chaos. Today, we went into something which was like a discussion group. And the organizer was already explaining how, sorry, I have to go immediately. I might have organized this thing, but I don't have the wherewithal to actually stick to my commitments. Quickly explained the rules to other people. And then, of course, the people who turned up to participate in it hadn't necessarily signed up to be the ones who guided the discussion. So there was no chairperson, there was no discussion, it was just people showing off their pretty mediocre beatboxing skills, which seems to be a thing in social VR. Now, I think it's going to be really interesting when more adults get involved in virtual reality. I think at the moment, kids are pestering their parents for, you know, the next bit of tech, the next bit of tech. And when VR comes along, well, you know, it's just a step up from the gaming they're doing on their Xboxes or their PlayStations or their PC gaming. And it's just like, oh, you know, nag, can I have this thing? To the parents that VR don't really know what it is. They're like, go ahead, do it. So all these kids are going in there and they're creating their own brave new world, and good on them. The behaviors they exhibit are not always annoying. You know, it takes a little while to sometimes track down like-minded people. I feel lucky that I found some adults after only a little bit of investigation, and I really enjoyed hanging out and just having a pretty much everyday conversation, but with people from right across the sort of middle of the United States of America. And it was funny that when I got into my COVID rant, which is actually my honest beliefs on the subject matter, I felt like a sort of crowd had gathered. That's only happened to me once before, but I was expecting it. I gave a talk down at, a couple of talks actually, down at Speaker's Corner in Hyde Park in London. There's lots of people there with their soapboxes or ladders, and they stand on top of them, and they're usually talking about religion. I was talking about the science of sin, so if you ever want to check that out, you go sciofsin.com, SCIOFSIN.com, and you can watch all the videos there. But yeah, so it was strange. I wasn't imagining to attract a bit of a crowd, but I guess it's unusual to hear a scientist talking about their perspective on the threat that COVID-19 poses from now on. And then what happened right at the end there? Yeah, it was kind of nice to then have a chat with that guy who I think referred to himself as underprivileged, because he was sure a bright individual, and you know, and it made me realise that I'm presuming that because I saved up for years and years and years, a long way in the past, to get a £2,000 sterling graphics PC and then 500 quid's worth of HTC Vive headset and handset to do it, you know, that's a big investment, as the guy pointed out, and it feels unavailable to him. And sure, if you don't have enough money to save up for this kit, then it can seem completely inaccessible to you. And therein lies the rub, because the people who benefit the most from VR applications, particularly when it comes to learning and so forth, to supplement whatever learning they have in real life with extra special learning, with quick feedback and with a difficulty level that can be adjusted to how you're doing. It's called staircasing, where if it's too easy, it gets harder and harder, and then if it's too hard, it gets easier again, so that you can be stretched, you can be challenged. And algorithms in computers and VR can find that sweet spot where it's not too easy, it's not too hard, but just right, much more easily than a human tutor can, for example. And so, you know, it's such a shame that VR is only really accessible, essentially, to the rich. And whilst, you know, how can all these millions of kids that are out there doing, you know, taking over, dominating the world of social VR, be rich? Well, they're not rich, their parents are. And I think it was really interesting to have a voice of someone who feels like, you know, I'm very different from all the people in here, even the adults in here, in that I am coming into this game, presumably, I don't know for sure, but through a PC, just, you know, normal computer and mouse, and he's able to participate in altSPACE without even having a VR headset. And that's something which has annoyed me in the past in the context of Rec Room. So if you're playing a game with someone and one person's sort of trying to throw a frisbee using their hand in midair and the other one's just clicking a button, then you're not playing on a level playing field. But in social VR, it doesn't really matter. It doesn't really matter whether one person's using a mouse and a screen and another person's actually in VR waving their hands around. Perhaps the VR person has a bit more latitude to express themselves using hands. And there was that guy who showed me with the Valve Index, you can actually move individual fingers, which I found fascinating, although that wasn't necessarily this episode. But yeah, I think social VR has huge potential. It's just that at the moment it's pretty overrun with youngsters. And yeah, I think there's a lot of fun to be had in all these VR worlds. And I think that once altSPACE starts perhaps being a bit more careful in what events they allow to happen, if it's too chaotic, if it's too sort of all over the place, then I think people will end up just writing it off. Whereas I feel like over the next few years it'll evolve into something which will be perhaps even we have to pay a fee to get into these events because the quality is so good, you know. Hopefully not more than, you know, a quid or two, $5 or something. But in order to keep out the idiots, you might have to add a surcharge in order to offer a bit of security, a bit of reassurance to punters who might want to attend, that it won't be overrun with kids looking to sort of derail it and cause chaos. So yeah, I mean, social VR, I really think it is the future. I think that more and more, even people in the workplace will be having, you know, if they're working from home, they will go into VR hangouts in order to socialize or do teamwork with colleagues. I think we're going to see this more and more. The future starts here, people. So next week, it's the final, the last Brain Man virtual reality review. We're going to continue the social theme, but perhaps not in the manner you're expecting. So I look forward to seeing you next week. Take it easy, have a good week, and catch you on Tuesday.
Reality.